telling you, this whole thing is on fire. And we've got some on fire guests this morning, don't we, Frank?
Absolutely. Our first one up is Dr. Rob Schiffman.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
We're starting with Dr. Rob Schiffman?
Yep, absolutely.
You mean we're starting with Dr. Rob Schiffman?
Absolutely.
You're trying to tell me, Frank, you're trying to tell me that Rob Schiffman is on? You mean to tell me Rob Schiffman is the first speaker today?
Yes, he is.
I can't believe that Rob Schiffman is going to be on
He's
this
in
morning.
the green room right now.
I can't believe Rob Schiffman's on his way over right now. This is fantastic.
Yes.
This man, by the way, if you haven't seen him, put your 5-point seatbelt on because Dr. Rob Schiffman is going to knock you out of this universe. He's probably one of my favorite speakers on the whole planet. He's a wonderful human being. He has a wonderful family. He's a huge supporter of Sherman College of Chiropractic, huge supporter of the IFCO, and of course he's supporting Mile High because why wouldn't he? It's transforming the face of the United States and the world. He's teaching the world about chiropractic, right? He is the king of all chiropractic. Dr. Rob Schiffman, welcome to the call.
It's great to be here.
We appreciate you.
It's great to be here.
Thank you for coming on IFCO-TV today.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Liam, why don't you kick things off?
All right, very good. Dr. Schiffman, where do you come from?
From the South.
Yeah, you're from the South?
From the South.
From the South?
Bronx.
South
Bronx.
A New Yorker. All right, very good. And you have a great story. Just so you know, we're talking right now to people all throughout the world. So there are some people that have been living under a rock that haven't heard about you yet in certain corners of the world. And I love the story that you tell of how you got into chiropractic. It's really a story of trial, tribulation, and then coming above it all. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. I wanted to be a surgeon, and always wanting to help people. That was a main desire, really, throughout my whole life, wanting to help people. And then I was playing soccer, and I went up for a diving header and hit these two guys going full force right in the head, like two heads into one head. I went down, I was knocked out, and I was put into a coma.
Wow.
And the team that I was playing for sent me to all kinds of doctors, really all over the country. And if your name's not Michael Jordan or Pele, the team tells you what to do.
Right.
So I had to do what the team told me, and then finally they sent me to the famous clinic in Ohio, and they gave me two thick lenses. One lens was about that long, another lens was about that long with a heavy metal plate wrapped around my neck.
Oh, wow.
And it gave me excruciating headaches.
Wow.
And I wore that for 3 days. And then about 2 o'clock in the morning, I couldn't take it anymore. I just ripped this thing out of my head. There was blood everywhere, but I didn't care because I felt better.
Right.
I didn't care if I bled to death. And I took a beach towel, wrapped it around my head like a turban, and a few days later, I wasn't supposed to drive, but I drove anyway, and I was driving my car, and I was at a stoplight, and all of a sudden, this thing just hit me. Excruciating head pain. From the injury, if I would look at both of you, you would look 50 times of what you are.
Wow.
Just a total blur. So anyway, when this thing hit me so hard again, I didn't know what to do. Long story short, the ambulance came to get me. Where do you want to go? Don't take me to the hospital. Don't take me to the medical doctor. I've been that route before.
Right.
Take me to my friend's doctor of chiropractic. And I didn't know chiropractic from, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I didn't know anything about chiropractic at all. Matter of fact, to me, where I grew up in New York, chiropractic was voodoo. They're quacks. But I was so disgusted, needing help so bad, I said, just take me to my friend's chiropractor.
Yeah.
So I went there, and thank God, when I went there, the chiropractor was a chiropractor.
Right. Yeah.
He was a chiropractor, and he was a principal chiropractor. And he x-rayed my spine, and he showed that my neck, the arc of life was completely reversed.
Wow.
And that the top bone was out of alignment. And he gave me one specific scientific chiropractic adjustment. And within seconds, if I would look at both of you, that looking at 50 was cut down to about 25.
Wow.
And then after about 7 or 8 months of specific scientific corrective chiropractic care, my neck curve was perfect, my eyes were perfect, my head was perfect, and I quit wanting to be a medical doctor because I felt that God Almighty, my lifetime, wanted my mission to really serve God by serving man through the vehicle of principle chiropractic.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was a life-changing calling that it had to happen to get me to where I am today. Yeah.
And then, Dr. Schiffman, from that point, you decided at some point to study chiropractic. And the story that you tell about that is also very inspiring. It wasn't easy for you to get started because for those of you who don't know, Dr. Schiffman, I think you're seeing, about 50,000 people a week now? Is that what it is? It's insane the amount of people that he sees. And a lot of people think, that it's easy for him, but it's not easy for me. How do you do it? If you could share a little bit of your story of how you didn't start at the top, you started at the very bottom and even below that at a certain point. How did that happen?
Yeah. Well, my wife and I, we were broke. The person that said that was going to help us to go into practice said, well, I'm 59 years old, and I'm going to retire soon, early retirement, and therefore I'm not going to be able to help you. I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
So we were with $39. That's all we had.
Wow.
And we were flat on our back, and we were in Indianapolis because that's where I was going to set up an office.
Okay.
And I got a phone call from this buddy of mine and said, you have to come up here to South Bend, Indiana, because there's an office for you. I said, well, I have no money. We have literally $39. That's all we had.
Right.
And he said, well, what I'll do is I'll come down and I'll pick you up because you don't have any money for gas, and I'll bring you up there. So when I went up there, this small building, which was 600 square foot, was next to the jail. Next to the house of prostitution.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
The bars were behind, and I walked out of the car and I was looking around. I said, "My gosh, there's no way that I could have an office in the pit of hell.
Right.
It's not gonna work." And then when I walked into the office, don't ask me why I did it, but I bent over and I touched the carpet, and it was like powder because his office had been vacant for 4.5, 5 years.
Wow.
And then I touched the wall, and the wall was dirt on the wall, and I said, there's no way, God, there's no way you want me to be in this place.
Yeah.
But then when I walked to the right into the adjusting room, it was a full set of Gonstead equipment.
Really? Oh, wow.
And it was dirty, it was dusty, and the high-low table was not a hydraulic high-low table, but it was a high-low table where you would have to step your foot on it and take it and push it all the way down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, spring-loaded,
press it,
right?
and then push it all the way up like that.
Yep.
And anyway, long story short, I walked out and I said, there's no way. There was pride, there was ego. There's no way that I am going to have this office. There's no way I'm going to do that. But you know what? When you have nothing,
Yeah.
you got to do something.
Right.
You got to start.
Right?
Yeah.
You got to start
Someone's
somewhere.
giving you a shot.
Yeah. So we met a couple of days later with the landlord, and the landlord said, well, this is how much it's going to be, and give me the check.
Yeah.
Well, the best way to react is don't react.
Right.
So I just sat there, I looked at him straight in the eye, and I just said to myself, love, 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 love. He didn't know, I was just saying, love, 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 and I had a big smile. And then finally, I had a thought flash, and I said, well, can I pay at the end of the month? The lease could be signed at the end of the month, but we could start now. So he said, sure. So 30 days, God had 30 days to help me to start a practice.
Right.
So I went to the mall down the road, and back then it was $350 to have a booth.
Right.
And the lady said to me, you know what, you look like a real nice young doctor. We'll just give it to you the first shot for free.
Wow.
Wow.
See, the mission and the purpose of a principal
falling into
chiropractor
place.
is when you're there to help, when you have the vision, when you have the purpose, when you know that you know that you know, no matter how old or how young you are, that you're the shepherd of the principle of chiropractic, that we're here to serve God by serving man through the vehicle of principle-specific scientific chiropractic, to live a selfless life, and really to lay everything that we have online to help humanity to become subluxation free, so we can literally have a pyramidal shift to cause this world to live its full God-given potential that we were ordained to from birth, but because of subluxation we're not able to. When we have that, no matter whether we're right out of college like I was at a chiropractic school, or if you're 90 years old, it's going to work out.
Right.
God's going to help you.
It really makes you unstoppable in a way, because it's not about you. It's about serving humanity.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and that becomes your principal focus all the time. And whenever that's your principal focus and all your action steps line up behind that, you can't help but be successful in your mission.
Yeah.
Before you move on, could you just continue finishing the story? I'm really interested.
Yeah.
So what happened that first month?
Yeah. So what happened was, I went there, and then the next day, I went to the mall, and I had a broken spine. It wasn't even my own. It was just left there by this chiropractor. It was a principal chiropractor I never met before my whole life. And I had a broken spine, and they gave me a table, and I went in the middle of the mall, and I was waving the spine like this to draw people. And so people would come, and hi, my name is Rob Schiffman. I'm a chiropractor, and this is what I do, and this is my card. And you know what my card was? It was a piece of paper.
Right.
I wrote my name, phone number on it. I ripped it, and I gave it to the person. So you don't have to be real fancy.
Right.
It was a ripped piece of paper, gave it to the person, and the next day I had 18 new clients that showed up. 18 new clients.
Wow.
So I was the CA, I was the insurance person back then.
Wore all the hats.
I was everything.
Yes.
And so they came in, I checked them, gave them a complete chiropractic assessment. And the problem was, though, that the x-ray developer, it wasn't an automatic processor.
Okay.
It was an old-fashioned manual dip tank.
Dip and hang and dry.
Well, I never did a dip tank, and I knew nothing about a dip tank. So I'm dipping, and I'm going like this. Nothing's happening. So I remember when my mother would make spaghetti, and she would test the noodle to see how, if it was ready, and she would throw it against the wall. If it stuck, it was good.
Yeah.
Ready for the meatballs, right?
Oh, wow, yeah.
And so don't ask me why, but I took the x-ray film and I threw it against the wall. Like that was going to make it appear, magically appear. Yeah. So 3 o'clock in the morning, I walk into this apartment where my wife and I was saying, I was just like disgusted and, what's wrong? I said, you're not going to believe what happened, but I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I have these 18 people that are coming back and won't be able to, no x-ray. So I kept on saying to myself that I can do all things. I can do all things through God. I can do all things through God. That I'm a principal chiropractor. That all things are going to work out for good for me. Life and death's in the power of the tongue. And I kept on speaking life. I kept on speaking positive affirmation. Right. So when I walked into this old office, I walked into the back of, don't ask me why I did it, but I walked into the back of the office and I opened up the door. When I opened up the door, there was 3 boxes of brand new x-ray film that were just laying there.
Wow.
And about 2 hours later, this guy came in who was an x-ray salesman. And he said, let me show you what to do.
Wow.
And he showed me what to do. And within the first month, I was seeing 800 people a week.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
And within 5 months, I was seeing 1,400 people a week.
Oh, my goodness.
And then from there, it just grew and grew and grew.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's never stopped. It's never stopped because that's the reason for living. That's the reason for being. It's kind of like BJ when we read the masterpiece and it talks about BJ's life. And this one writer, I think his name was Ken Lipke, he said that he was misled by the whole chiropractic profession, how BJ was the wrong way. But after he met BJ and he saw a man that gave his life for humanity, for one principle, the greatest principle ever given to mankind, the principle of chiropractic, that literally this man Ken Lipke, who interviewed kings and presidents, if you remember reading that in the green books. Right. And by the way, if you don't read those green books, you must read those green books, because that's what keeps us on purpose. That's what we need to read every single day, because that's the truth, and that's what our whole profession is based on. And that's why I love IFCO, I love Mile High, I love you and Frank, and all that you guys do for chiropractic all over the world, to keep it as the #1 profession in the world today.
Well, thank you, Dr. Schiffman. Thank you for supporting IFCO and certainly Sherman College and Mile High. And I know this is that you come down here or up here to the mountains to share your knowledge and experience, because there are so many people. We saw last night students here. There's over 100 students in the community, doctors of chiropractic, and many are struggling and uncertain about their future. And it's because they don't have their mission set yet. They don't have a vision. They're not passionate yet about what it is. And many times it's because they're not even being taught chiropractic or the principle in schools. So certainly very valuable that you're here. I would also add that Dr. Schiffman has a phenomenal coaching or mentoring program. Could you tell us a little bit about that? What makes your program unique versus other programs?
Well, first of all, I'm just honored that I've been able to coach the largest practices in the history of chiropractic.
Wow.
Not just in America, but all over the world. And we call it Reach the World with Chiropractic, because that's what we're trying to do. And we teach them, the chiropractors throughout the world, whether it's in Europe or Israel or Australia or the middle of America, the same principles that have caused me to have the largest practice in the history of chiropractic, giving them the certainty, giving them the understanding, giving them the power of what I call the anointing of chiropractic. And once the chiropractor has that certainty, once they have that understanding, once they have what BJ called the big idea about chiropractic, that the power that makes the body heals the body, that the chiropractor's purpose is to remove the interference, and then God does the rest, then their practice takes on a new meaning, and their vision really to reach the world for chiropractic. Because what we teach is that it's wonderful to have a vision for our community, which is great. That's wonderful, we need to. But the bigger idea is to reach the world with chiropractic. And the bigger the vision, the bigger the practice. Absolutely. That's what we found by mentoring the largest practices in the history of chiropractic.
Certainly, and I would say one of the unique factors, and I think one of the most awesome parts of your coaching program is it's an inside-out job, really. I mean, you're working with a person from the core, building that strong, and then moving them out with strategy, procedure, office, the way an office runs, and all that kind of thing. Would that be a correct statement?
Yeah, that's 100% correct. Yep.
Dr. Schiffman, you are heavily involved as well in Sherman College of Chiropractic as far as mentoring the students there, sharing some of your financial abundance with the school. Why is it that you do that, and why do you think it's so important?
Well, first of all, I'm honored to be in the President's Circle of Sherman, and I believe, and I know there's listeners from all over the world, but I believe that Sherman is the new fountainhead of chiropractic.
Wow.
And I also believe that there's seasons and there's callings. And if you decide to go in another direction of what I personally believe, in my opinion, that you're called to do, then God will raise up another individual or another school. And now today, Sherman is the only principled chiropractic college speaking the truth about the BJ chiropractic, the pure, unsullied, unadulterated chiropractic that the world needs. And I'm so thankful for the leadership of Dr. Cordero and Dr. Cohn and the board, like Dr. Schubel, and the board of trustees, I believe, is the best board of any college of chiropractic in the world today. And Sherman is the head and is the leader and is going to guide with the leadership that we have there at Sherman, the college, to spread the message throughout the world in the season that we're in, more so than ever before, empowering the students. It's the best chiropractic education. Of all the students that I mentor, when the Sherman student comes out of college, they're unmatchable.
Yeah.
You can't even, you cannot even compare.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
It's amazing. They have all the skills and tools to really set the
tell you,
world on fire.
I'm a
reach the
Sherman
world for
grad
chiropractic.
too, and I'll tell you, I thought when I was going to school, that's how everybody got taught.
Right.
I didn't realize that other schools didn't get taught the philosophy of chiropractic, and I started learning that they were getting taught chiropractic history as opposed to philosophy, and there's a big difference in that. And I found it, and I don't want to sound like it's easy because you have to put in a lot of time and work and effort, but it is easy to explain chiropractic when you understand the philosophy and you can communicate that.
Yep.
Dr. Schiffman, any closing message to the folks that are watching here around the world? And also, I would also ask you to share with us your contact information, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that would like to get in touch with you and find out how they can improve in their lives and in their capacity to serve others.
Well, my contact information is Dr. Rob at RTW Chiropractic, Dr. Rob at RTW Chiropractic. And in closing, chiropractors are a small group. We're really a minority. And we need you, just like we need everybody here at Mild High. And I'm so happy and honored to be here with Dr. Knowles and all that he's done for this amazing conference. And I wish that all of you around the world that are listening could be here next year, because every year it's growing and increasing and getting better and stronger and power in the principle of chiropractic. But I urge you with all my heart to support Sherman College. We need your support now, today, more than ever. Because as you support Sherman, as you support the IFCO, we need money. It's as simple as that. I mean, if you have a house, you have an apartment, you have a car payment, you don't pay, well, guess what happens? They're going to take your car away, they're going to take your house away, they're going to take your apartment away, they're going to kick you out. Well, at Sherman College with IFCO, we don't want to be kicked out. We want to carry the torch of principal chiropractic around the world like never before. That the blind may see, the deaf may hear, the lame may walk, that we can literally change the world and reach the world to cause to have a permanent shift, that we can literally empty out the hospitals so that people can understand what we have, this amazing anointed message. So we need you to support Sherman College, the leadership there, the students, the IFCO. And if you haven't visited Sherman, I just highly recommend, when you go there, you're not going to believe it. You're going to flip out.
Yes.
And we need your support for IFCO desperately, so that we can help other causes that are principal causes in chiropractors that need you. So it's all for one and one for all. Together, we can reach the world.
Did I tell you you're going to love this guy? This is what a way to start off a morning here.
Absolutely.
Dr. Schiffman, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys so much and all that you do for
Thank
our
you.
wonderful profession.
Thank you for
Thank you,
sharing
brother.
too.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you.
Enjoy Mile High.
Yes, thanks.
Wow.
Wow,
I
oh
hope
my
you had your
goodness.
5-point seatbelt on for that one. That is amazing. I tell you, every time I see him, I just want to leave wherever I'm at and go start seeing more people.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely. Yeah, it makes you feel like, okay, you're seeing a lot of people, but you're not seeing no one.
That's right.
He's sharing chiropractic. That's it.
And you know what he has more than anybody I think I've ever met is that absolute certainty. And when
Yes.
he's looking at you, he's like a laser beam of love, and he's going above you, around you, over you, underneath you, through you, whatever it takes to get that principle to as many people on the planet. And the guy is unstoppable. You look at any on-purpose chiropractic event, Dr. Schiffman's on, and he's always the first to step up and contribute. He's always the first to get involved.
Yep.
He just practices the way congruent with what he says. And so often we see in chiropractic what people say from the stage is very different than when you meet him in person. That's not the case with Dr. Rob Schiffman. It would be a benefit, it would behoove you to get to know him and come out to Mile High. And again, this is what's amazing to me, Frank.
Right.
We're sitting in here in Mile High, and by the way, of course, we have him on our television program, but if you're just Joe Q chiropractor, right? First time you got here, I don't know anybody here, you could walk right up to Rob Schiffman and just ask him any question, and he would just take you by the side and say, okay, let me show you this, let me show you that. This is how the people that Danny Knowles picks to speak at his event, this is how they are. They are here. They don't have to be here. Schiffman does not have to be here. Believe me, he could be flying around on his private jet and doing whatever he does. He's here because he wants to help and he wants to make his impression.